Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Breeze, Breezeway Productions' The Breeze, where we bring you the latest in independent films and film festival news. And we are continuing our coverage of this year's Sundance Film Festival, the 2023 edition. Welcome back after 3 years of hiatus, and we're very much looking forward to the festival itself. We have an awesome filmmaker here with us today to talk about his film that is in a short film official selection. Andrew Fitzgerald, how you doing?
Good. How are yourself?
Very good. Thank you for joining me today, and looking forward to talking about your film, The Family Circus. Tell me about it.
So the Family Circus, yeah, this is a short film. It's about a Vietnamese-American family who, on a snowy Christmas Eve, they decide they have to try to cover up a drunk driving accident that the youngest member of the family got into. So they concoct this plan and call the police, but when the cop arrives, their emotional baggage starts to fill out and their plan slowly starts to unravel in front of this really gruff, suspicious cop played by Michael Ironside.
Yeah, I thought that it was really cool to see everything as it came together. It starts off where it showcases the dysfunctional family, because I'm sure every family has their own dysfunction to it in one way or another. But I thought it was interesting the way that it played out. So tell me a little bit how this story came together for you.
So this story is loosely based on an incident that happened to myself and my family. So we're pulling from real life experience there. And yeah, I really wanted to capture exactly that, just the dysfunction that a family, tends to have, especially when under extreme stress. So I really wanted to showcase just those relationships between family members and make sure they felt really lived in. So you got a sense of who they are right off the bat, that they were still all there trying to support one another in a really stressful situation. But, there were those biting remarks that everyone's throwing back and forth and people getting frustrated with one another. And, having that cast try to come together as a team in this really kind of moment of crisis.
Yeah, the family is also ethnically diverse. So it's a Vietnamese family also, but the father or the husband is a
He's
white
white.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm curious, did you put that together for also from your own life, or was that
Yeah,
something?
so that is my family dynamic. My mom's from Vietnam. She came to this country in 1975, and met my father, who's white. And yeah, I have two brothers, so it's a family of three boys. And yeah, I also wanted to just kind of interject some of those experiences of just growing up in a small town, being half Vietnamese, and just some of the things you would hear from other people, some of other people's questions about, what are you? And not really have those moments driving the narrative, but just really giving color to, the story as a whole.
Yeah, I did. Speaking of the color of it, the way that it was shot, I also thought it looked very beautiful with the snow falling and the lights, the way that you cinematically did it. I was curious to hear about your DP and your choices that you used to shoot it. Like, what camera did you use for it?
Yeah, so this is the third film that I've shot with the cinematographer Sing Hao Yam, who is a great friend of mine and just a real, he's a true artist. And yeah, we talked a lot about Gordon Willis. We talked a lot about The Godfather, that style of lighting, and just this noirish style to give what could be a like family farce a real kind of feel of menace through the whole thing. So he shot it mostly practically, so just the lights that you see in frame are the lights that were on in the room. And yeah, we Sing and I are very prepared going into it. I storyboard everything, and we have a really great shorthand of just knowing exactly where the camera needs to be for the every moment in the story. We shot on the Sony Venice with Panavision Panaspeed lenses, and yeah, for the exterior snow stuff, we shot it all in California here in Pasadena, so that's all fake snow.
Looks great. I watching it, I said that snow really does look nice. Good flurries. It get captured well on camera. And even like the soundtrack, when I was watching it, I was saying before we started rolling on the interview that it just reminded me of like a Twilight Zone. It was very eerie, very foreboding, and it kind of played throughout. Did you have that also included in when you?
Oh yeah, totally. And that's a high compliment for me, the Twilight Zone. It's funny, I was just watching the New Year's marathon,
Oh yeah.
every year. And yeah, I grew up watching that stuff. So the score was done by a wonderful composer named Ali Helnwein. And he and I talked a lot about movies from the 40s, 50s, and Hitchcock was another touchstone for this movie tonally, just as far as the tension and suspense. So we talked a lot about Bernard Herrmann, and we wanted to emulate that style of music to give the movie that tone of just this real pressure cooker, and to have the score really accentuate the stress that the family was going through, and to really build those moments of tension and try to stretch everything out as best we could.
Yeah, the ingredients of all of it put together really made a wonderful recipe for it, because it all worked for me. So watching it, I said, "Wow, this was really nicely done." And then the final piece of the puzzle that I saw that I wanted to talk about was putting your cast together. And as you said, Michael Ironsides was on board as the cop. And I'm curious, because I always ask this for when I see actors that have been around for a very long time, done a lot of big movies, and then I end up seeing them in a short, and I'm like, wow, how did that end up happening? Is that like something where you go and you talk with their agent? Is that something where it was a personal relationship, or is that something where they were just interested and they want to just keep making movies?
He was just interested. So our casting directors reached out to his agent, got him the script, and he responded almost immediately. And it was a shock, to be honest, because when you're making a short film, it is always, you have your wish list of who you want, and you go out to these people thinking that, okay, we'll have to knock down all our big names until we just have to deal with whoever auditioned. But he got back, and I was pretty intimidated to jump on a Zoom call with Michael Ironside for the first time. But he was just the sweetest, most generous guy, and he told me, he's like, look, I like the script, I want to do it. And
Awesome.
he really just responded to the material, and that was, what do you want to do? And he just wants to constantly just stay working and work on stuff that he responds to. So we were really honored to have him, and he was a pleasure to work with.
Awesome. And he also really played well on screen, as well as the rest of the cast. The whole family element really worked well as a dysfunctional family. And I hope that our audiences are able to check it out at Sundance this year. Congratulations on the official selection. So can you tell me when the Family Circus will be playing at Sundance in Park City?
Yeah, so it premieres the 21st at 9 p.m. at the Prospector Square Theater, and then it'll have its second screening at the Redstone Cinema on Monday, the 23rd at 6 p.m. And then it'll play two more times in Salt Lake City on the 23rd and the 26th.
Nice. Multiple chances to check out the film in many different
Oh,
locations.
and streaming online starting the 24th. So those of you with online passes, check that out.
Yeah, it like I've seen in past years when Sundance has offered the online package for people to see films, the turnout was unbelievable. So if you're looking for, if streaming is your thing and you can't make it in, definitely check it out there. I loved it. I thought it was great, and it was cool to talk about all the different elements of it. So make sure to check out the Family Circus playing at Sundance this year. And director Andrew Fitzgerald, thank you so much for spending the time on The Breeze.
Thank you so much.